I mean, we don't need to be serious. We're just going to start and do a raw but very needed little transmission and exploration today. So, Ariel, I'm still going to say you're joining me because you joined my Zoom today, but we're creating this together. So you're Ariel. I'm going to let you introduce yourself in a second. I am Anna, and we are friends. We are business partners. We are each other's mentors. We are holding each other. We're making each other laugh. And we're specifically, I would say, really agree on similar values and a
Mm.
similar observation in the world, what's happening in the world. And last time we were talking, we were actually like, oh my goodness, we should record this and share
Yeah.
this with the world. So this is our intention of doing that today. This is the first edition. We don't have a name. We don't have we have a little bit of a plan, but it's, as I said, it's actually quite raw. So before we're gonna dive into the topic, which we both feel is actually quite poignant for today, Aya, do you want to say a couple of words about you so people know who they're actually watching?
Thank you so much for this beautiful introduction, Anna. Yeah, I totally agree with what you shared. My name is Ariël. I am also originally from the Netherlands, living in Ibiza, and I am since a young age very passionate about human behavior and transformation and awareness. I have worked in a professional background for years, and then I went full into spirituality. And at some moment, these worlds met again. And now I'm working as a coach and giving retreats and a lot of embodiment sessions.
Mm.
So that's really about me. And one of my goals and one of my aims for what I'm bringing, and that's also what I'm bringing here and now and in my daily life, is to, yeah, answer the darkness and also the seriousness in life with love and joy and fun. And yeah, that's also my daily practice to keep coming back to that with an open heart.
Mm. Oh, beautifully said. Especially the part of the daily practice and keeping coming
Yeah.
back to that is going to be
Oh,
so important.
so for the
I'm
people back home, that's when Anna and I are calling each other like, oh, today I feel so much.
exactly.
Oh, today I also feel so much. And that's what the practice is. Like for us, even if we're teachers, in some way, we are also students of life.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Absolutely. I'm actually going to take this to jump in a second. Just going to quickly introduce myself
Yes,
as well,
please.
because as we said, this is not one podcast inviting somebody in, but we're creating this together. So my name is Anna, Belightful, and actually very similarly to you, since I guess since primary school, my friend and I were always dissecting human behavior. And for me, I've always had the passion and the natural inclination to dive deep. So I want to become present with what is truly going on, not on the
Mm,
surface, because the surface to me is boring, but I
mm,
have this like truth detector of, okay, what's deeper, what's deeper, what's deeper? Aha, there it is. And at the same time, with the sense of lightness and actually having fun looking at these things, which to many people sounds like it doesn't go together. And I think this is also where we have come together because we don't make everything that serious, even
mm.
though we feel that much. And this is going to be the segue to actually start into what I think is a really, really poignant topic, which is the intensity of the world right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And as you said, we as teachers or coaches, I mean, we're not exempt, right? Like we're maybe feeling and sensing even more, and we have to handle these things as well. So
Mm,
this is also for me a share from the kind of inside behind the scenes, but also from the embodied side, because
mm.
for me, you can't teach something that you don't truly live. That's where my
See.
lie detector goes off already. It's like, no, I don't believe you. So my question to you, Ariel, is what are you actually perceiving at the moment? How do you
Mm.
feel with what is going on in the world?
And you mean feel in my actual body, or what am I noticing in my body, and what is that? How do I interpret that from the outside world?
Both, whatever pops
Mm.
up for you.
Yeah, beautiful question. First, I feel in my own system a lot of like thoughts, anxiety, heaviness, a rush, and that's something that I can really feel in my heart, in my chest. Also, I notice in my sleep, and there is so much going on in the world right now. And to just name a few is like the wars that were already happening, like for months, for years. We don't need to name the specifics, but we all can refer to that. And then the momentum kicked in with another war and another war. Then we have the global crisis of mental health care and people having more mental health issues. Another thing is the impact of the wars is the refugees that don't have a place, that are actually frightened for their life because people are getting killed. They are constantly searching like, where am I safe? Where is a space where I can just be? With where my opinion is safe, when my being is safe, where I don't need to run because gunshots and bombardings. Then I also feel the climate change, the world. Then
Mm,
astrology wise, there's so much going on, and these are just a few to name. Then we have the whole AI intelligence that is taking over, and that brings that we meet each other in a totally different way than ever before.
mm, mhm,
So I feel in society things are changing in a rapid pace. Like we cannot catch up, basically. And to actually catch up to any change, we need a calm nervous system, we need a relaxed state in the body. And these are like, yeah, to balance that, it's very challenging at the moment, if you ask me. And the response that we have as people is what I said, like anxiety, separation, judgment, power misuse, them, we. Yeah, I can continue for hours, but I'm also very curious what you want to add on this, and what is your feeling and what's very alive in you right now.
yeah, thank you for summing it up so potently, actually. And
Mm,
what I
mm,
would add is the this mysterious anxiety that
mm,
maybe a lot of people that might be watching this might be feeling, because obviously we know that there's something going on. But let's say you live like us in Ibiza, or you live in your safe hometown in Holland, or maybe in Germany, maybe in Denmark, anywhere. I would say mostly anywhere in Europe, let's say
mm,
Western Europe, but maybe even Eastern Europe,
mm,
maybe not too far east. Maybe your daily life is actually not that different.
mm,
You might feel, okay, the gas prices have gone up a little bit, your food is maybe gotten a bit more expensive, but you might still have your job, sales are okay, your family is okay, your kids are going to school, and suddenly there's this added tension.
see.
And I think this is so important to speak to, because most people are not really aware. Of course, if we watch the news, we all know we're gonna end up with a lot of fear. But even if you don't watch the news, like I don't even watch news, I pick what I can ingest at certain moments. But
Mm,
even if you don't do that, you're still gonna be bathing in
yeah.
this communal energy. And I actually have an example. I spoke to a friend yesterday, and she told me, because I had a pretty much breakdown last Friday, and she said
Mm,
she had two panic attacks.
mm,
And, out of nowhere. And what I want to say with this is that we if we have a cause and a reason that we can point to, it's like, okay, my husband has been fired, or I just got a diagnosis of a disease, then we have something at least to explain it. And
Yeah.
it makes us, in a weird way, feel safer. But if
Yeah.
we don't actually know why, and you are in this constant tension and anxiety, it can be very, very unnerving. And I think I would say 99% of the world doesn't know that we are all connected in that sense,
See.
that we
Yeah.
are all feeling each other. And then the next step is to blame yourself, right? You make yourself wrong. Oh,
Yeah.
why am I having panic attacks? You probably feel afraid of sharing it with someone because openly your world is okay.
Mm.
And to me, this is a really important point to make because even with me having the tools of, okay, who does this belong to? I know
Yeah.
part is not mine, it still might feel heavy. And
Yeah.
this is, I think, my biggest share right now is that
Mm.
you are not alone. You're probably feeling the whole world. And let's bring this to the surface.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it actually makes me so much more relaxed just you mentioning it, because I know it, I feel it, we speak about it. And to be honest, for us, it's very normal.
Yeah.
But there are also so many people that are aware and are not used to have these peers around, these allies. And
Mm,
then, how you beautifully pointed out, then there are the people that are actually feeling it and are not that aware or not aware at all that we are these interconnected beings and that we all are so incapacity to feel what's happening on the other side of the world. And we know all these miracle stories, but actually it's so normalized. So and in addition to your share, it's also to normalize it and not to make something woo-woo or spiritual of it, because we are like a mycelium network when it comes to our
mm,
nervous systems.
yeah.
So yeah, that's a very interesting word, but it's very basically comes down to we are all connected and we have like our nerves so spread out. So yeah, yeah. I
I
believe
think.
this is what we really need to learn the kids in school. Like
Mhm.
coming from a world of child protection care, mental health care, where I worked for years, this is not what we taught our clients, what we taught the kids. And it's so needed.
Yeah. What would you teach if you say this is so needed? What would be your first, if you could give people that are watching this now
Mm,
one piece of advice or one little tool to use, what would that be?
mm. What comes up first is a big permission slip to just authentically bring yourself in. And that's even with the sighing, because
Mhm.
only when you feel a heaviness and the sighing is allowed, even when you are in a meeting with me in my past, like with politics, like, can we just be ourselves with all that we bring to a space? Because we will feel it anyway.
Yeah.
And can we not put it in such a framework, like we need to sit tight and this way and the hair needs to look that and we cannot laugh too loud, like that permission slip of our authentic feelings? If we grow up like that when we are young, it
Mm,
becomes so normal also to share the thoughts that are like not as randomly shared normally, or that are so common. And with that, the other part would be then to not judge that, to not take it personal, and
mm,
to just have the allowance in the space for that so it can dissolve and it can be felt and seen. And then, yeah, and for that, actually, I really believe in tribe and in connecting and bringing that to others. Of course, there are tons of self-regulation practices and co-regulation practices. But that also is a way of that we need to help and heal something. And for
mhm,
me, the part before that is to actually normalize it.
mhm. Yeah.
And what about you? What would be a thing that you would definitely want to bring and teach what you are
Mhm.
actually doing?
Mm. Um, I think I would also like to approach it just to bring a little of a like bridge to people that I might not be as versed in co-regulation practices and self-development or energetic work, because these kind of names or labels might
Yeah.
sound very, very far away. And I just want to tell you, if you're like, oh, what is that? That even scientifically, we know our heart has at least a radius of 1.5 meters in an electromagnetic field.
Mm.
So our heart can actually co overlap with other people's electromagnetic fields. And you
Yeah.
will know that if you go into a room, you will feel people. You will feel if somebody might be watching you from behind. You will feel if somebody's in a good mood or not a good mood, which is not necessarily something that you can see or something that the person says. So just acknowledging how much we're already feeling and how much we're already aware of is for me the very first step. And
Yeah.
then actually externalizing that, because I think we have the tendency to keep it in, to
Mm.
be strong, to not bother anybody. And I know that from myself. I find, and we actually let's share that too. Um, I went over to your place last week, and
Yeah.
we wanted to work on the retreat that we're planning together. And it actually moved into a session where I was able to share very vulnerably. And I have to admit here that it is so difficult for me still, even if
Mm.
I'm working in this field, even if I'm holding space for so many other people, I still find it so hard. Like I was actually covering my face to not be
Mm.
seen
Mm.
in this sharing. And I'm saying this very, very openly because I want people to know that this is a very normal reaction and a very
Yeah.
normal way to feel, that we don't want to be seen in our vulnerability and in our rawness. And it is actually an incredibly powerful and potent, I'm going to call it medicine because this is what comes up, but also way of transforming
Mm.
things.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
allowing to be seen in
Mm.
whatever it is.
Mm.
And I'm going to add one more thing to that from my own practice, and actually very interesting observation with the clients that I'm coaching right now, that I'm experiencing this tendency to sugarcoat or to justify something,
Mm.
right? Like
Yeah.
we could bring something in a really raw way of saying, that really hurt me, or that person is an asshole, or that
Mm.
was really fucked up and I didn't like it was shit, like, and it's really raw expression. And what we tend to do, or what I'm seeing, is that was shit, but probably that person had a bad day, or yeah, he still tried to support me, but in that moment he didn't really phrase it right. So we take from the raw observation
Truth.
and truth, exactly, and make it kind of like, yes,
Mm. Yeah.
and that's, in my opinion, and also what I'm seeing, that takes away from actually fully transforming what's there. You
Mm.
don't allow it to come up fully.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a beautiful example as well from your clients, as well as when we were together and you kind of brought yourself in, different than our agenda was.
Mm,
And that made me want to respond on a few aspects of that. You mentioned at some point like we don't want to be seen, and that's why you gave the example of the hiding with the hands, what was beautifully visible at that point. I actually believe, and I do believe you believe that as well. We actually do want to be seen, but we have unlearned that. our
Mm,
conditioned mind and our nervous system is so wired in a way that
mm,
we have told ourselves and that when we have been told that we cannot be seen. But I
mm,
believe our most true essence wants to be seen. And when you have that feeling again with some allies like we, or with the group practices that I facilitate or that you facilitate, you actually have that remembering again, as if something really clicks, like even from past lives. You can believe in it or not, doesn't matter for the people watching. But this imprint, we all have that because we are these interconnection beings. We all have lived in tribe at one point or another. So when we are actually seen again, we see ourselves,
mm.
because I am you and you are me, and your tears and your hiding is also mine. So when we were gonna work on a project, it was not possible for me to continue with something from the mind perspective or what was on our actual to-do list, while something other than that was so present in the space, in the room. So I cannot just continue with that. And that's why I left all these spaces that I worked before, because that it's so unnatural. And once you know, you cannot undo that anymore. So actually, that feeling, and you had that feeling. I said I want to go and dance outside, and then you shared like I actually feel like crying. So then we kind of met each other in what's actually here in the space now. And yeah, when you are able to be present with that, and you learn how to track these things in your body, how you also mentioned, it's gonna be the only possible way to connect with other beings. And that is so authentic and so fulfilling also for me personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how you ended on the fulfilling. That actually gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, I also felt like let's take a breath.
Yeah, let's take a breath.
Let's take a breath. Yeah, and I also really love the rawness. I just today was on a call with a friend, and we were very spontaneously sharing a few things, and then we touched each other's buttons, and I was like, okay, this really is touching me now, and I get really activated. And I am so thankful for having people around me where I can directly speak my truth and my feelings without that it's been taken so personally, or that even if it's taken personally, that we can reflect on it again. And because we did our shadow work, or we do some inner work at least, and we
Mm,
really want to see the goodness in the others instead of the judging and the good cop and the bad cop, because
mm,
that's actually the ripple effect of what's happening all around the world. Like this good cop, bad cop, or this is my land and this is your land.
mm,
That's
mm,
actually what is happening in your relationship with your kids, with your work, with your friends, because we all feel that. And it's like we need to get rid of that. So we are actually multiplying it in a microcosmic world in our daily life.
mm. Yeah.
And the only answer for that is to keep showing up in the light and in the connection, and to, meet each other in real life and in these conversations. And hey, you really fucked up and it pissed me off. And I still love you. And come here and I hug you. And next time, that.
Mm. I think what you mentioned is maybe we're gonna even already have a second topic for
We
another
can talk for
conversation
hours, right?
because we
We get
always
so
jump like ding
passionate
ding
about
ding
it.
ding 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 ding. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was already super powerful into this whole understanding that you can have feelings. They give you certain signs and pointers, and they run through the body, but you don't have to be drowning in them. You can
Yeah.
actually be kind of next to them, observing them, still feeling them, and connecting to the other person, not through the feeling, but
Yeah.
from talking about the feeling.
A
And
witness perspective. Yeah.
exactly, as a witness perspective. And I think that is that is a whole study in itself. And I'm actually gonna write this down because I think this is going to be really interesting to dive into in a separate call. I would like to bring it back to one more question or one more topic connected with the intensity of the
Mm.
world, which I also saw pop up in our session, our conversation last time, and I
Yeah.
also sense it very presently um, right now in my surroundings and in the world, which is this interesting sense of guilt,
Yeah.
maybe shame, but mostly guilt, that if all of that shit is going on in the world, we have to tame ourselves down. We
Yeah.
can't be as happy. We can't be as successful. We can't be as, choosing something that is only for ourselves. Like, let's
Yeah.
say, go on a detox or go into a retreat, go away on a holiday, because there's always the sense of selfishness, right? If other people are
Mm.
suffering so much, how can you choose this? So I would actually like to speak about this because I never heard anybody really speak about this, how you view that, first of all,
Mm. Mm.
and what you would make out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is also a big topic in my personal life, especially as a giver, as a take caretaker, and still having my patterns in pleasing. Um, like one of my closest family members in my core family who had like long suffering of mental issues, and sometimes life and death came, um, and without going into that too deep, I at that point was not allowing myself to have joy, to have something like fun. So, and if I would buy myself a gift because actually it was something I needed, I would actually buy it also for that person, because otherwise
Mm,
I would feel so guilty. And what last week we spoke about, like we are expanding in our businesses with bringing the retreat. And I also sense a feeling of guilt while there is so much happening in the world,
mm,
that I am like cheering for a retreat where we have the luxury to, sink into our personal development and have food cooked for us and sun and sea. Like, and can I allow myself to step on my full light, bigness, love, when maybe somebody very close to me or in the world, there is so much darkness and suffering going on?
mm.
Can I stay true to my soul's path, my dharma, my love, my radiance of gold, while maybe some other people get triggered by it
Yeah.
and don't like it or feel that I'm actually selfish? Like that's such a topic, like in so many layers.
Yeah. And I think if I can point that out, what you said here is actually one of the crucial key points is we might be judging ourselves for being selfish, but we're mostly afraid
Yeah,
of the judgment of
exactly.
the outer world,
Yeah,
that the outer world will see and say, you're doing too good, you're too happy. How can you do that if other people are suffering, right? Like this is kind of this moral correction system
yeah.
from the outer world that doesn't allow us. I think it's in Australian, it's the to be the tall poppy. It's the flower
Mm,
that
yeah,
grows higher than other flowers because
yeah,
then other people will come and cut it down.
yeah, yeah,
And it's very understandable because this is how society, first of all, has been, working for thousands of years. This is how
Yeah.
society controls us. So who knows how many layers of fear there is that keep
Yeah.
us in tight in this. And to me, also the interesting question that I like to ask in this moment is, from which point do you think you can actually contribute more? Right? It's
Yeah.
always if you're flying and there's you being shown the safety procedures, they always say you have to put on the mask on you first before
Yeah.
you take care of others. If you are unhappy, depressed, judgmental of your body, stuck in your relationship, stuck in your job, if you are in this really stuck and unhappy place,
Mm.
will you actually be able to help someone?
Exactly.
Or can you actually step into your radiance? Can you be
Mm.
happy and successful and love your body and have healthy relationships? And then, who knows, maybe take in a refugee or maybe actually contribute to wars not even happening in the first place. Why
Exactly.
we wouldn't even have refugees because people like their homes. They don't want to be leaving their
Mm.
homes. But do you know
Mm.
what I mean? If we dare to step into something different while still seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
And this is the
Yeah.
mastery, right? This is the
Yeah.
mastery of shining bright and still being connected and aware of what's going on and saying, hey guys, there's a different possibility.
Exactly. Yeah, and with love and compassion for those who are not able to, like with
Yeah.
all the spaces that I'm creating where we have this ability to connect in tribe, in community with abundance of food or whatever, I always have this moment, either with myself or with the group, to tap into this higher consciousness and collective thing. Like, hey, can we bring some, energy and love to those who are not able to have this now? Can we
Mhm.
send that energy out while still being in this celebration?
Yeah.
And while also in the teaching, the joy and the grief can become one and also can follow up in the same breath, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's so much I actually want to respond to.
Do it.
Yeah, it keeps showing up. I feel the only answer to this darkness is love and light.
Mm.
Because if we would all go in that frequency, then we are like lost. Then what's going to happen then? And
Yeah.
like you said in the airplane, like you first put your own mask on before you do it with your kid. I also said it to so many parents in the past that I was guiding. Like being selfish as a mom is giving the best example to your kid of self-care, of
Yeah.
self-love, of that you actually can be a better parent when you come from a full cup or at least a half full cup.
Yeah.
And if you are constantly like giving, giving, giving for others, and you are not taking that time and nourishment to yourself, you're gonna be depleted. And then yeah, you are also not coming from this place where you wanna come from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally. So this is, I guess, one invitation or reminder for everyone who's watching this. What can you choose for yourself today?
yeah,
How can you still be in compassion and also cultivate self-love?
yeah.
And it's interesting because while I'm saying this, I can sense those energies actually
Mm,
beginning to coexist.
yeah.
I guess maybe there is some weird belief that we can't be in self-love and compassion at the same time. I think it's because we
Mm,
come from a very materialistic
mm,
world where we have
mm.
black or white. We can't have things coexist, but in the energetic world, things can coexist. Things
Yes.
can overlap, and we
Yeah.
can be self-love and compassion at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is for everyone who's watching, this is your invitation. Be self-compassionate and be in self-love and see what that will create for you.
Yeah.
Is there
And that
anything? Yeah.
self-love can look like many ways, also in practical ways. Like for me, that's also really connecting to the divine. And for some, that may be religion, God, the universe, energy. It's also like connecting back to nature, because there is where we actually come back to love again, because nature is always there and it's for a lot of people quite available, free.
Mm,
So it doesn't have to be just an expensive retreat, or let's say what's expensive also, eh? But
yeah.
it doesn't have to cost money to come back to a form of love, because we all come from a mother womb, which is also the world, like which is also nature, where we can always come back to, even when your mother is not there, even when you don't have a religion, or even when you have second thoughts about something in your cultural beliefs or background. It does not really matter, but it's just to come back to something other than the individual, like
Mm,
so that we come back in the we again and in the opening. Because if we are so much in the I, like me, my, the we close ourselves off, and to feel the love again and that expanded heart frequency that you were sharing about before, we actually, yeah, need to connect with something other than us, higher,
mm,
more grounded, or a different being, like a body, an
mm,
energy.
mm.
Yeah.
Like a tree.
Yay! Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for this beautiful conversation, and thank you for being so spontaneous. Because
Yeah.
little background note, I'm always very very last minute, and Ariel has a lot of compassion for me with
Yes.
that. So yeah, just maybe a little reminder of what we're doing.
Yeah.
We are actually creating your vision, your beautiful vision for a community that is in the first place going to be manifested as a retreat at the
Mm.
end of March. There's going to be
Mm.
intimacy circles happening here in Ibiza. We do
Yeah.
have an online event happening. Maybe you can say a bit more about these offers.
Yeah. The first one you mentioned is the communal part is called Inner Muse, which is actually, yeah, a coming together for and with and from women. I'm happy that also a lot of men are doing the work, and for them, they have different communities. And yeah, for the women, it's also, for me, the collective feminine wound is so alive, and also the collective love and the sacredness of women coming together, and the magic that is unfolding from that. So, Inner Muse stands for coming back to your feminine essence, in the surrender, in the softness. And yes, the emancipation has gone beautifully, and we know how to earn our own money, and we know how to step up in our business, and we all know that, and we do that so beautifully. And our nervous systems and our bodies, our wombs are wired in a different way. And we sometimes lose track and lose touch with that feminine essence. So Inner Muse is, yeah, a place where you can come back to that surrendering and be held in sisterhood and womanhood without the competition, with the celebration of that bigness, of that light, of all of your successes. Like we cheer each other. So that's one passion. And I'm super happy, Anna, that you are co-facilitating, and you are my partner in crime and my friend and you really feel this mission as well, and you embody that and you bring that in the world. Then we have intimacy circles in the Netherlands and in Ibiza. In the Netherlands, it's a mixed group for men and women. In
Mm,
Ibiza, for now, is still for women, and later also for men. And that's actually what we spoke about, like that we can be with what is. So if people have these thoughts that they are afraid actually to share or not known to share, then the intimacy circle is a space for that, to actually bring that in a very embodied way. The Inner Muse also very much in an embodied way. And then what was the other thing you mentioned? Oh yeah, our online event. Can you share a little bit about that?
yeah, so we're going to do a masterclass for women only, as far as I remember. I was like, oh God, I got because I didn't know the intimacy circle in Holland was actually mixed.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
the sorry, because for me, we're on the island. We're only
yeah,
working
totally. I get your confusion. Yeah.
exactly. So this is where I got confused. Aya, you need to help me. I don't remember the topic anymore.
Me neither. So I thought I ask you. We are co-creating and creating so much.
All right,
To be
so
continued.
amazing. So this is a great example of being authentic and raw, and actually handling with hopefully some grace.
And it's
Yeah.
also, I'm happy that the people saw some depth already from us because if this would be the start, this would be like, okay, let's press on the right of the screen. Anyway, like we have so much profound things to share. And what is actually the core of all of our sharings is authentically showing up, being with your energetic body, with your physical body, and feeling that, bringing that outwards, feeling that inwards. So there will be a space for that as well. Upcoming Thursday is the intimacy circle, and the week after is going to be an online free event for all of you if you want
Yeah.
to work with us live.
Amazing. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna post everything that we're offering wherever we're posting this. This is, as I said, a new endeavor. And I'm actually also really curious for ever who saw this, if you have questions, if you have any inspirational topics that you want us to dive into
Mm,
look
mm,
at from our perspectives, please share. Please get either in touch with us directly or leave a comment. And
yeah,
we're really excited to just continue these conversations to share what we talk about anyway
yeah,
with the world. And we hope that this contributes to you. So,
yeah.
Ariel, thank you so, so much for your time.
Thank you too. It was my pleasure and I loved it. And I want to add one more thing. And also, people, if you just feel seen or you recognize things that we have shared, we just love to hear you and be in conversation with you because we truly believe that with sharing this and talking about it and feeling each other, we bring that to the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Stay tuned for next episode, right?
Exactly. Stay tuned and have a beautiful day wherever you are.
Yeah.
Bye bye.